Hey guys, Brandon here from OptiRough Systems, and today what I want to do is go over 3 new major enhancements in the Mastercam 2022 milling product. And before I do that, you'll see that I'm here in our Mastercam training room. Let's roll a quick video of how cool our training room here is located in upstate New York. So as you can see, it's a pretty cool showroom that we have up here in upstate New York. We offer everything from basic mill training, basic lathe training, all the way up to the highly advanced mill turn machines and multi-axis with 5-axis simultaneous and everything like that. So the first thing I want to jump into in Mastercam 2022 is the incredible change that they made to the OptiRough toolpath. The OptiRough toolpath has been a toolpath that's in the Mill 3D package now for years. But what they're doing is they're taking that toolpath and they're now putting it into the Mill 2D, which means that anybody with a mill seat can now utilize this toolpath. Let's jump right into Mastercam and take a look at how we can utilize this toolpath versus dynamic. Okay, so when we talk about dynamic milling and OptiRough, what we mean is how our dynamic milling is stuck in our 2D toolpath, whereas OptiRough is a 3D toolpath. And now OptiRough can be utilized within the Mill 2D license. So let's take a look at something like this part. It's not something crazy complex by any means, but what we want to do is just rough this out. And what I can see here is it takes me 4 dynamic mill toolpaths to rough out all of these different depths that I have on this 2D part. So I would have to go through and create all of these different operations to get exactly what I want. Whereas if I look at my OptiRough toolpath, all I have to do is basically create a stock model that says, okay, what is my material size that we're cutting? And using an OptiRough, I can achieve what all 4 of these toolpaths did just in this one operation. So you can see the benefit of having this toolpath now available in Mill 2D because it's really a 3D toolpath, but we can utilize it now for different depths on our part. Very, very powerful roughing toolpath. All right, so now let's transition back to dynamic mill 2D. So when we can't use OptiRough or when we want to be really specific on what we want to cut first, 2D dynamic mill is not going to be obsolete. So let's jump into Mastercam. What I want to go over is how this automatic region chaining works. This is what's new in dynamic mill. So these first 3 operations here, my first operation, I rough out that inside pocket. Second operation, I rough these ears out. Third operation, I am now roughing these blue closed pockets. What I want to go over is how we can intelligently rough this orange pocket with really one click. So if anybody's used dynamic milling before, they understand that you need to define your machining region, your avoidance region, your air regions to really dial in that toolpath exactly how you want it. With this automatic region, I can go here and just select which face do I want to cut. I want to cut this orange face. You can see it scans the whole thing. Green check. When I preview that, I know just by using that one click that I have this perfect cutting toolpath. My red hatching is where I want to cut. My blue area is where my tool can enter in and out. And my bosses are now selected as avoidance regions. Super, super useful for the 2D dynamic milling. All right, so now I want to take some time to talk about the third enhancement that we're going to go over today in 2022. So this enhancement is going to be found in the Waterline toolpath, which is a 3D high-speed toolpath that specializes in a constant Z step down. So let's take, our cool Knowledge on Tap Yeti, for example. This Yeti is about 5 inches. If I tell Mastercam I want to take 2-inch step downs all the way down this cup, it'll only take 2 step downs because it's not going to see the bottom here and it's not going to go another 2 inches down to finish the floor. But what we can do is now in the Waterline toolpath, we can utilize what we call constant flats to be able to now see those flats and really machine those. So let's jump right in. You're gonna see the same example that I was just telling you guys about. This is a 2mm step down, and you can see we're not cutting on the floor here, we're not cutting on the floor here or here. But just by adding in the parameters here, turning on my critical depths to say include flats, now we add this cut at the bottom. So essentially what that means is no matter what step down we set, whether it's a huge step down or a small step down, it will guarantee to hit that floor, which is huge for the Waterline toolpath. And I could dive into this for another 5 to 20 minutes to really go over all these different examples and where this can be used. So stay tuned and subscribe to our channel if you want to see more of this Waterline toolpath. As always, thank you guys for joining us here. Again, we're in our Mastercam training room here at OptiPrough Systems. I would love it if you guys could like this video. If you want to see specific content in 2022, feel free to comment below, subscribe to our channel, and cheers. Thanks, guys.